Yo guys, what's up? Scholar here. Got a little free time today before I head out for work, and I just wanted to get my thoughts really quick on Curtis Axel, aka Michael McGillicuddy, former guy of Nexus, Kurt Henning's son, Mr. Perfect, dubbed as the new Paul Heyman guy. Let me get my thoughts about this. It had been speculated for weeks, weeks and weeks, who's going to be the RVD guy. I mean, who's going to be the Paul Heyman guy, on the internet, since WWE had, announced it on their website for, a week ago. A lot of people were really curious and interested, and it really got some buzz. So when Paul Heyman came out on Raw last night and, about to get ready to announce his new clientele, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, it has to be a new star because, who else they would have brought in? I know it's been rumored that Rob Van Dam might come back for a 2-year deal with WWE, but I really didn't expect RVD to be the Paul Heyman guy. So, first thing that came to my mind was, this is a great idea to introduce a fresh new talent to the roster, and him to get a rub from Paul Heyman. And it gives Paul Heyman something to do as well, since, CM Punk isn't back until we don't know when, and Brock Lesnar is on break until further notice. So when Paul Heyman was like, hey, I'm going to introduce, my new client, I was talking with my friend, Taiwan, and we were watching. I'm like, please let it be Chris Hero. Please let it be Chris Hero. Please let it be Chris Hero. For guys who don't know, Chris Hero, is Cassius Ohno. That's his WWE name now, Cassius Ohno. But I still call him Chris Hero. So I'm like, please let it be Chris Hero, aka Cassius Ohno. And when it came out to be Curtis Axel, I'm like, what? I mean, I just don't know what to think about this. Curtis Axel has a lot of supporters. I don't know what it's like in terms of, say, guys up in the WWE office and what they think about him. But, I mean, I'm talking about, from fans' perspective. I know for quite a couple of years, a lot of fans have really, or wrestling fans, have really taken a shine to Curtis Axel. Saying, hey, Curtis Axel needs to push. How come WWE won't recognize him as the son of Mr. Perfect? He needs to push. They need to give him a push. He's very talented. And, Curtis Axel, I think, is a great in-ring worker. I think he can work. He helped The Rock get back into shape, in-ring shape, since Rock came back and started in the ring since Survivor Series 2 years ago. He helped Rock get back in-ring shape. But I just never really cared for this guy. I just never got behind the guy. When he was in Nexus, didn't care for him. When he was in New Nexus, still didn't care for him. I just don't care for Curtis Axel. I'm sorry. I know some of you guys may say, well, hey, you're only disappointed because it's not some ROH/internet darling, that's under Paul Heyman's wings. That may be. That may be. My expectations were up pretty high. I was kind of hoping that it would have been a former Ring of Honor internet darling that could get that rub from Paul Heyman, since WWE despises and pretty much I've heard some interviews where they do kind of they like to stick it to the internet darling wrestlers a lot. I was kind of hoping that it would have been Chris Hero, or one of those some other internet darlings that they have developmental to get that rub from Paul Heyman. Maybe that was a failure on my part, because that's what I wanted, that's what I expected, and because I didn't get it, I was a little bit disappointed. So maybe that's failure on my part. However, though, I just don't see anything with Curtis Axel. I mean, I'm glad to give him a push. I'm glad that he's repackaged and they finally recognized him as Mr. Perfect's son, Kurt Hennig's son. I'm glad about that at last. But I mean, and like I said, he's a great in-ring worker, but I could just never get behind the guy. He just doesn't do anything for me. Hopefully he gets a role from Paul Heyman. He gets a great push, and he can change and develop, and he'll change my mind and make me a fan of him. And I am curious to see what they're going to do with him, since they're dubbing him as a Paul Heyman guy. But until I see more of him and like what they would do with him, I'm just kind of neutral about this. I'm gonna be dead honest, because even though it might not have been someone that I wanted, was an internet darling, even if they were to pick a WWE guy from developmental, there are like 3 dudes from developmental and 2 dudes that's on the current roster in WWE that I would still pick over Curtis Axel to be the new clientele of Paul Heyman. That's just me. Like, that's just how much I'm not too giddy about this. Like I said, it's interesting. It's a good spot. It's a new character. So I'm not going to complain about that much. It's a new star added onto the roster. But, I mean, like I said, I don't know. I hope Paul Heyman can do something with them. One thing I'm more curious about more than anything is that I would love to have been a fly on the wall, because I wonder if, was this something like, I would love to have been like in the boardroom meeting, because I would love to know, did Paul Heyman have any say? Did he actually pick out Curtis Axel? You know what I mean? Did Paul Heyman actually go in the boardroom meetings and say, hey, we're trying to look for a young star to get the rub with Paul Heyman? And Paul Heyman says, hey, give me Joe Hennig. I want that kid. I want that guy. I want to work with him. Joe Hennig. Give me Joe Hennig. I'll take him. Did Paul Heyman have any say in that? Or was it more of WWE just going like, Paul Heyman, we're going to give you a star for him to get a rub off of you, for you to manage. So, here's the guy right here, Joe Hennig. Here's Joe Hennig. So, here you go. That's the one thing I'm more curious about more than anything. I wonder, did Paul Heyman really have a say-so, and does he himself really see something in Joe Hennig? Does he see something in Joe Hennig? Does he? I don't know. That's the one thing I wish. I would love to have been a fly on the wall in that meeting for them to make this decision. That's very curious to me. But like I said, at the end of the day, I'm not downing the guy and just throwing him in the crap. A little bit disappointed because, like I said, there are like 3 people from developmental that I would have picked over Curtis to be, the guy to be Heyman's clientele, and they're not even internet darlings. I would have wanted Chris Hero, aka Cassius Ohno. There's some other internet wrestling guys that they have in developmental I would have picked over what's his name, but I mean, it is what it is. We'll see what we do with them. Hopefully they'll book them right. I was unable to see the last few minutes of the match he had with Triple H because I have DirecTV, and we had a thunderstorm, and satellite messed up the whole thing. Pissed me off. I missed the last 4 minutes of Raw with Michael McGillicuddy and Triple H or Curtis Axel, and I missed it. But I'll watch it again later, sometime later tonight online or something. So yeah, you guys give me your thoughts. What are your thoughts on Curtis Axel as the new pupil or disciple of Paul Heyman? Do you think it was the right move? Was there someone else that you would have wanted yourself or would have expected? Were you pleased or disappointed? I want your thoughts in the box below. Subscribe. Peace.